me know when you're ready. We're ready. Okay, ladies, welcome to our 2020 team kickoff. So excited. So how many of you feel very hopeful for this year in your business? Raise your hand. Okay, very good, very good. And like you know, it's going to be your year, right? Okay, you kind of feel like it's going to be, this is my year. You're feeling that? Okay, so how many of you are feeling kind of good, but you're slightly unsure what to do to get the results you want? Okay, we can relate to that too, all right? Okay, but how many of you came here feeling completely open and ready to learn whatever it is that you need to learn to achieve those goals that you would love to achieve? Are you here, sitting here, ready, open, and ready to listen and learn? Are we all feeling that? Yes, I love that enthusiasm. Thank you very much. Okay, so you definitely are going to take your business to the next level just for being here, and that's awesome. We love that. You ladies are in the right place. Today, you are in the right place. There are so many other places that you could be right now. You are, but you chose to be here. That says volumes. That says volumes about you right now. No matter what's going on in your life, we are so grateful that you chose to be here. So please understand that. We're just so grateful for that too. We have carefully, prayerfully, intentionally chosen the topics that we are going to train about today for you to cover every area of the business. There's all different trainings, but they all weave in together to complete and complement each other. So there's not one that's better than the other. They all are a very, very important part of what we do in direct sales in Premier Designs, okay? So one thing for sure is to get out your positive attitudes. Okay, we're going to put on our new 2020 vision glasses, right? And as you hear things, be taking notes. Take as many notes as you possibly can, okay? And then something that you think, I like that a lot. Put a star by it. And then when you go home, then you can reread that one first and then go through all the others, okay? So everybody ran out. Pretend to put on your new 2020 vision glasses. Go, put them on. You see everyone? Is everyone putting them on? Some of you didn't even do it. You just looked at me. Just for sharing. So we got 3/4 of the room that's putting on. Hopefully in a few minutes, the other, I'm going to be watching for you girls. I saw who doesn't have their glasses on. I'm going to be watching that. So, okay, so first of all, I want to talk to you a few minutes about mindset. A little tips about that, first of all, to get us started, okay? Okay, first of all, it's a well-known fact, proven fact, that whatever we think about most of the time, we become. Whatever we think about most of the time, we actually become, okay? So, if we're starting a new year, a new decade, we need to have a clear vision of where we're going to be starting, okay? We need to know exactly what to choose intentionally, what to think about, right? So if we know intentionally are knowing what to choose and we're creating that vision, we can then become that, of that deepest desires that we have for our business. So sometimes we're thinking, I have these desires. I had these same desires last year or a couple months ago, but I'm not where I want to be. What's that about? So I want to give you a couple tips on how do you even create a vision in the first place for you, your very own. How do you even create a vision for your business? There's no better time than right now at the beginning of a year, okay? So tip number 1 is this. A successful person only talks about what she wants, not what she doesn't have. See the difference? A successful person only talks about what she wants, not what she doesn't have. And we all know what that looks like, feels like, sounds like, and all of that. A lot of times, like, oh, I wish I could have more bookings. I wish this. We're talking about what we don't want. We need to consciously, that's the whole thing here, be aware of what we are saying. Whoa, 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 red flag. Stop saying that. I'm talking about what I don't have. Switch, I'm going to talk about what I want. So that is the main thing, to be catching yourself every single day, to be talking about what you want, not what you don't have, okay? So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, this is a fun thing too, and it could be more than 5, is you write down the top 5 things you would love to have happen in your business. You brainstorm it out. Okay, just, you can write and write, I would love this, I would love that, I would love that. And don't hold back, don't put, well, I have this, I work full-time, da-da-da. Don't put any of those in there. Just, what would you love to have happen in your business? You just brainstorm it out. And the reason why that is so good for creating your own vision, it is actually enlarging, literally, your vision. Because you think, oh my gosh, what about this? What about this? And the larger your vision, the bigger your capacity to receive. So that is an amazing exercise to do, to start just writing out these things. What would you love to have happen in your business, okay? So number 3, and this is a really strong one. If you don't do number 3, the first 2 will not work. Number 3 is you release any negative thoughts that you have about yourself, about what you did or did not do in 2019. Stop it. Do not go there. Okay? All that matters is where you're going and the direction you're looking today and the fact that you're here. Okay? Do not go back, I wish this, I never do that, I can't, no. That's done. 2019 is done. We kicked it to the curb, like Jennifer said. It should go home, right? Okay? So all that matters is that you're here today. It says volumes. Now all that matters is the direction you're looking right now. That's all. And with everything we're going to be learning today, you're going to just like, oh, I've got this. I want everybody to say it right now. I've got this. Go.
I've got this.
Oh, I love. Thank you for Norma. She even did the grips. Okay, awesome. And number 4, it's pretty vital to creating your vision and what you want. Okay, hear me out. Fully accept that you are a leader in your own business. As soon as you fully get, you know what? Wow, I am a leader. Has nothing to do with how many new jewelers you have underneath you. It doesn't. But when you fully accept that you are a leader in your business, you own it. You're the boss lady. You are the boss of you. You're the CEO. All of that. When you fully like, yeah, that's cool. I own that. I am a leader in my business. Your premier mom is not the owner of your business, right? Joy? Absolutely. So when we know those 4 things, these are just some basic tips to help you create your vision, your 2020 vision of where you can start going from there. When you do those things and understand them, you will then have a clear vision of the direction that you want to go and achieve all those dreams that you have deep down inside of your heart. And we all have different dreams and different desires and different goals. We're all walking different paths with different life circumstances and all that. But you can definitely achieve them. You are all here absolutely for a reason, for a purpose. You might not know what it is. That's okay. You're going to start discovering it and figuring that out, okay? So, here we go. All right, so we have decided, here we go. Now the training begins. That was just a little tip on mindset, okay? Okay, so here comes some training. All right, let's do this. You guys ready? You got your glasses on? Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so one of the things we thought about, okay, for a training is...
I'm sorry, Connie, but did you say there were going to be 5? You didn't skip one, did you?
I said 4.
Oh, I thought you said
Did I say 5?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are listening. Nice, thank you, Connie, thank you. Flew all the way here from Sacramento. That's right. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, the glasses are on. Okay, so, first thing we thought about, okay, some of you think, okay, I don't know that many people. Well, I'm going to give a few tips on enlarging your circle. How do you meet more people in 2020, okay? What about networking groups? What about all of that? How do I even enlarge my circle of people that I come across and meet? And I want to do that a lot, okay? So some of you may not have 1 minute to spare to do what I'm going to be suggesting or encouraging you to do. But some of you do. Some of you have some time. Some of you need to just look at your schedule and prioritize things a little bit differently, a little bit of different time management, okay? So if you really want to enlarge your circle, one of the ways that I have found that has truly done this in massive quantities is networking groups. Some of you do them, some of you thought about doing them, some of you put your hand up and say no. but let me just share a few thoughts about them with you, okay? Networking groups is fantastic for enlarging that circle. It just truly is. And there's so many different kinds out there that you could choose to go to. You can look them up. There's some with just women, some co-ed, some just men. I don't suggest those. Okay, you name it, all different. There's some that are just faith-based. There's some are just, professional and on and on and on. So, and all that too. So you can choose a couple, one, and just begin. When I joined Premier Designs, I needed to brand my name with Premier Designs. I joined 4 immediately out the gate, and I went for a solid year, and then I chose the ones that I'm going to stick with, and they're working today in a massive way. So, number one is we go with an attitude that you're going to give it your best for 1 year. If you decide and you pick one, you have to give it, consciously choose 1 year, I'm committed to this, and I'm going to be doing it, okay? And you go with the attitude that you are going to be going to share what you do, share what you have, and also that you're going to help other people that are there in that group too. If you're not going just for you, you have to go with that double thinking. I'm going there to share what I have, what I do, and I'm going to go there to help other people in their business as well. That is truly what networking is, okay? Now, you might not need a life insurance agent, okay, right? But that's okay. Doesn't mean you have to be using everybody. If you're just honest with them and you say, I actually already have life insurance, so I don't really need a new agent right now, but give me your card. I'm going to refer you out to some other women that might need it. So you're still participating in that thing, okay? So, commercials. Your commercials, you get 30 seconds, 60 seconds, sometimes a little bit more, 2 minutes at them. They could be super funny, informative, a success story. You can rotate your commercials as highlighting different pieces of jewelry. You could talk about bookings, sponsoring your team members, gem members, customers, and on and on and on. So there's a great rotation of ideas that when you go each week, that you have something to share, something to talk about, something to do. But basic commercials, you say your name, your company, what you do, what you're looking for. Then you say your name again when you sit down with a tagline. A couple of my taglines, I kind of have fun with them. Hey, I'm Connie Allred with Premier Designs, helping women to shine like a diamond. That's a little fun little tagline. I'm Connie Allred with Premier Designs, empowering women to shine inside and out. Another tagline. Then my latest that I'm using right now. If you look in the mirror and you don't see any shine, you think of Connie Allred with Premier Design. So that's a little things like that. And it's like, I get the same response every time I say it, no matter what. So you think of fun little ways to end it, because if you end it every time with your name and your company, you're going to become rememberable. That is the whole objective for networking as well, enlarging your circle to be rememberable. You're enlarging yours, they're enlarging theirs. You want to be in all those people in their circles of remembering things, of somebody that they could go to that needs jewelry, gifts, all of that, right? Okay, so soon the networking business friendships will begin to form, and you keep in mind these are the reasons why people are going to use you. Not just because you have beautiful jewelry. They can find that in a lot of other places. We do have some awesome pieces. But people will do business. Why? Because people who they like. Yeah, like and trust. Absolutely. So it's your smile. It is, right? Your friendliness, your kindness, your professional attire. Okay, right? And your consistency to the group and how you present the value of our jewelry. Okay, so keep in mind this is a work in progress. Just because you go a few times doesn't mean you're going to have this business. It's that consistency of all those things that I just talked about. That is where you will see your circle grow, grow, and grow. And I promise that it will. Time is going to go by. You ladies aren't going anywhere, but by the way, you may not leave from here. Just saying. Okay. And so you're staying. So time's going to go by. Pretty soon it'll be February. It'll be Valentine's Day. It'll be this. It'll be that. Pretty soon it'll be my birthday. It's on and on. Right? It's okay. And then it'll be summer, and then it'll be rally, right? So if you're committing to one now, look at all that time's going by of your committing and your consistency and all of that. You will have a lot of business, or more at least, by June or July. It's just the truth, okay? All right. Let me talk about now vendor events. I'm not going to do a training on how to do them. That's the whole thing. All I want to do is give one tip. For for a vendor event? Because we have all experienced. They are the good, the bad, and the ugly. Right? We've all experienced that, right? Okay, so I just thought of this. I thought, I'm gonna do this next at my vendor events. You know the new little opt-in phone number that Premier now has for customers or gems to receive texts? You know what I'm talking about? Right? It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
So, not only are we gonna be there asking for bookings or asking to, join our team and of course selling our product, that might not happen. But then you can say, hey, would you like to opt in for specials and sales just by just texting in Shine to this phone number? And then that could be on our raffle form now. It could be a little piece of paper that we hand out. Hey, make sure you're opting in, and then encouraging that. That is one more thing to do at a vendor event. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Woo.
Do you have that number handy, Connie, so we can jot that down?
I don't have it memorized. I don't memorize numbers. But we can definitely, I'm gonna post it, and what I'm gonna do for you is I'm going to make something that you can frame and put on your table for our shows.
Connie already does that.
So at your shows, you can hold it up. Ladies, right now for a Diva Dollar, everyone type in this number, Shine to da-da-da. Boom, 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 right? How fun is that? Okay, so, that's a good question. All right, now the next thing I want to talk about is the importance of a show. The importance of showing our product. Jennifer's going to talk about how to get shows. I just want to talk briefly, real quick, about the importance of them. And I know some of you are kind of swirling, well, I get it. That's where we meet new people. What's a little bit more to that, right? Okay. First of all, we've all come here for all different reasons. We're all here for different reasons. We get that too. Some of you are able to do home parties. Some of you are able to do office shows. Or some of you are just able to do one-on-one appointments or this or that, different things like that, right? But some of you, I believe, your Premier Mom believes, that you can actually do a little bit more. There's something that's holding you back from doing that, okay? Something is holding you back from asking a little bit more, okay? So I wonder what that could be. So, one of the things that we have discovered is that the more that you are learning about your product, just about your product, then you go practice privately in your own little room somewhere, or on a Facebook Live private event that you just did for yourself that no one else is gonna see, or with a trusted friend that won't laugh at you, okay, is you just practice what you just learned about all the necklaces, the bracelets, the earrings, all that, what go together. It's just a matter of that. When we begin, we just practice. And then, what happens when you know your product, when you then practice? You have confidence. Wow, it's amazing. So, maybe you're not sharing more and you're letting that fear just kind of take over you because you're missing some confidence. But the equation to get that is knowledge of your product, practice with your product. You will have confidence. When you have that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to share more. You're not going to be able to contain yourself, right? And it sounds pretty exciting. It's true. It's because it's a natural consequence when you know something. Think about something that you do know, and you love to talk about it, share about it, because you know it, you practice it, you talked about it. Same thing with this. That is the answer. And I promise, it truly is. That is how you're going to gain the confidence to do that, okay? So, during the show, the other importance of that, because y'all came, most of you would love to increase your income with Premier. How are you going to do that? Show the product. Do shows. Really important to get your product in front of people. That is how you're going to reach that, is increasing your income, is getting more jewelry in front of more faces. Okay, and all those different avenues of how we do parties, events, one-on-ones, and on again, right? 2. So not only do you strengthen customer relationships when we do that, what else? Meet new hostesses, meet new team members, right? Meet new gym members and enlarge your circle and create new girlfriends. And you meet new women that you get to bless right there. God has put you in that place for a reason. You can use that, even if it's just 2 or 3 people you're with your product. You pour into her and on and on and on. So that is the importance of it too. You are beautifying a woman, helping her feel beautiful, important, and special. That is our job, hands down. And we get an amazing tool to get that done. Isn't that exciting when you think about that? I love that too. So that's what we have. So far, we have trained about so many different things. We've trained about, let's look at that for just a minute. We've talked about our mindset, the 4 tips on that, right? We talked about that networking, enlarging your circle a little bit. We've talked about a tip on vendor events, the importance of a show. And we are so excited because there is a woman sitting in this room with red hair that is the Energizer Bunny that we all absolutely love and adore. She is unstoppable and one of the the smartest businesswomen that I know. And I am so pleased and proud to call up Christina Hentela to now train how do you work a Premier Designs business while working full-time, even up to 50 hours a week. How are you going to do that? She has the answer. Let's give her a round of applause.
Just put in goodie bags, right? You have this whole big process of planning everything. And it all has to be done by a certain time because the party comes, right? So anybody love to check off stuff on a list? Am I just a weirdo? How many people do that? I love to do that. I make a big long list on Sunday in my jammies. I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get done with all this. And sure enough, 3rd cup of coffee. So it feels so good and so rewarding to check things off your list, right? So think about that. Anything that is critical and needs to get done, you're going to figure out in advance and create a timeline. So what in your business is critical and needs to get done? Do you write this down too? Are you committed, or are you just thinking, God, I really ought to call that lady. She said she might be interested in that party. Your business is really not any different.
Is this you talking slow?
Thank you. I will breathe and try to slow down. Yeah, Jen gives me 20 minutes. I'll have to be done in 3.5. Sorry. Frankly, that's all we do is planning parties. And, you know, it has a very similar timeline, right? So you want to make a list of everything that needs to get done for your upcoming shows and make an appointment with yourself to do all these activities. So when you get a booking and you have an upcoming party, when are you going to give your hostess her hostess packet? Did you give it at the party? Or frankly for me, even though that is more time efficient, I like to go, if they're local enough, to go drop it off and go through it with her just for 5 minutes. I usually text her and say, oh, we're 3 weeks out. I want to give you your hostess packet, take a quick peek around to see if I need to bring anything, which of course I'm probably not bringing anything. She has a table, she has a kitchen. But I tell her I just need 5 minutes to go through it because I really want to hostess coach her well on that first meetup. And doing it at a party, I feel like I've got people in line. It's hard to really hostess coach well. So decide if you want to give the packet then, but I always make an appointment to go and visit with her. Make an appointment of when I'm going to coach her. When am I making her invitations? Literally, I'll go back. The party's here with Jeannie. I go 1, 2, 3. On the 3rd, somewhere under 6 more is reach out to Jeannie to make invitations, and I'll make sure that that gets logged. When am I going to start posting on Facebook? I choose to do it 9 days out, and it all is in my calendar. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm just making a 1-second post, and I know whose party I'm posting for. If she's not on social media, how are you going to get the word out to her friends? So you have to have that discussion with her, because if she's doing it by email, snail mail, texting, what have you, when are you going to make sure all of your jewelry is set up and ready to go? Connie?
Do you have all of these with alarms built into to tell you when to do it?
I don't. Alarms are only when I know I'm going to forget to even look. So for me, this iPad is opened at 5:05 in the morning as I'm sipping that first cup of coffee, and I'm like, holy moly, what do I have to do today? Is it one thing? Is it 20 things? And that's even before I go to work. So I'm just looking to see what am I doing right away. And then if it is something critical, like I'm going to call somebody on the drive home, for me to go from work mindset to Premier mindset, it's 2 different worlds for me. I don't know about anybody who works full time. I will not remember as I'm getting in my car after a 10-hour day to call Jessica. I would really wanted to remember Jess, but I don't remember that. So I will set an alarm at a clear time I know I'll be in the car, and it'll ring as I'm driving home. It's, of course, I was calling Jessica. I didn't forget that. Yes, I did. But that's when I set an alarm, is when it's super critical and I know I'm going to forget. Otherwise, my phone would be setting off the alarm all the time. Anyways, whatever your goal is, you must create a plan and work your plan step by step. So if you do, there's literally no chance you're not going to succeed because you just told yourself the 27 things you're going to do. If you're a list checker offer, you're going to get it done and you're going to accomplish that, right? So next, if you work full time like me, you have to be even smarter about your time. I work over 40 hours a week at my job, but I still find time to do 1 to 2 shows each and every week. And I can only do that with very specific timelines so that all of my activities will get done on time. From preparing the jewelry display to practicing what I'm going to say when I get there. I only drive 15 minutes to work, but I'm talking to myself the entire way. And if I change my presentation, I'm giving myself a jewelry party on the way to work and sometimes on the way home if I really want to make sure I'm honed in. But there's always a plan in place. My first tip, if any of that was not a tip, is I get up early. Early bird catches the worm, ladies. So I get up at 5 o'clock and spend the first 20 minutes literally clearing my email, clearing my Facebook notifications. No, I am not scrolling through Facebook. I am literally quickly going through who tagged me, what's important, what did Jen post, what did Connie say, somebody in my hostess, did my hostess make a comment in her party? So that's a very quick go through of Facebook, only to do those types of activities. And I'm looking at on my calendar what absolutely needs to get done today, no matter what, okay? Everything is done by 6 o'clock. Facebook is shut off, emails out, I go walk my dog. You wanna talk to me? Call me at 6:05, I am walking my dog. Right, Jen? Right. I'm serious, 6:10, fine. Anywhere from 6 to 6:20, you can call me any morning. I'm walking my dog. But that is on the schedule and that's what I do every day. So I'm always also thinking literally 3 to 4 weeks in advance. I carve out time to look at my calendar and decide what shows I need to be adding to my calendar based on my personal financial goals. When can I work in a 15-minute conversation and perhaps connect with a team member? And then again, I schedule it. Is it on my drive to or from work? Is it on Saturday morning? Is it by messenger because I'm the only lunatic up at 5 o'clock other than Leah? Whatever works. If I don't schedule it, it's just not going to get done. If you're on social media, that can either help you or suck a ton of time away from you. So did you know that you can pre-plan all of your Facebook posts on your business page? By planning 20 minutes a week, perhaps on a weekend, to sit down and post strategically, you can preset what you want to post and the time you want it to be posted. This not only saves you time, but allows you to think and plan in advance really what you want to say. I've gotten a lot of tips from Jennifer. So some ideas are posting a selfie with a cute comment about what you are up to is going to get way more activity than, oh, I'm running a sale on trendy bracelets. Like, people don't always want to be hit up for selling. But if you say, hey, check out my trendy bracelet, do you think it matches my outfit today, or do you like this color better? The either or question will create more engagement. And that's really building relationships with people. And people, like Connie says, they want to do business with people that they know, that they like, and they trust. And that is networking 101. You need to earn their trust before anybody's going to jump on your website to shop. So again, I've learned a ton by Jennifer, and so I'm going to just give you some ideas. I've got ready for Motivational Monday. So sorry. So these are some things that you could create on your business page. You can find these on Google. You can borrow one of ours. I borrow from Jennifer at least a week or two after she's already posted it. So this is just just key in Google, Motivational Monday, and a whole bunch of them pop up. I love Mondays. Fresh start, chance to set a new tone for the rest of the week, great day to be alive. So pick something Motivational Monday, post it in a week in advance. Next could be Tell Me Tuesday or Tip Tuesday. You could offer a tip for cooking, styling, or sometimes throw in a jewelry. So let's see, no, you are not anywhere even, no. You did not go in order, sister.
I know, I'm having technical difficulties.
Tuesday. No. Oh my God. You are so nowhere in the...
I know, I'm so sorry.
No.
Okay.
I like that picture.
Well, you guys just saw my next presentation.
Close your eyes, forget what you're saying. I can't.
You can't find it?
Wait.
You know what? Just go to my messenger. Go to my messenger. They're in order.
Okay, hold please, keep.
Okay. So Tip Tuesday. Oh, What to Wear Wednesday was me in that outfit. So, What to Wear Wednesday, I usually, if I can think about it, I don't schedule this one. If I'm going to work today and I'm wearing cashmere, I'll try to take a picture of myself going to work, and I'll say What to Wear Wednesday. What are you wearing Wednesday? Or I'll say, love cashmere. God, this is like one of our top sellers. So I will take a selfie for Wednesday and share that. Or if you're just a little shy for doing that, go to our media gallery. There's tons of professional jewelry pictures there. Or go, if you're on Facebook, go to the Premier Inc. The Premier Inc. Facebook page. There's so many professionals taking tons of gorgeous, I don't even know who takes those pictures, but they're phenomenal. So you can always come up with one of that. Think About It Thursday or Throwback Thursday. You can post a question and ask people to engage, or a funny picture you can find, again, on Google. Do we have Thursday yet?
It's coming, just keep talking.
Okay. I'll slowly talk about that, and then we can glance at the ones. I just sent her like one example of everything. So Think About It Thursday or Throwback Thursday. I think, Jen, you posted one about 8-track tapes. I thought, that was funny. And then, she's working it. And then Fashion Friday, or my favorite, are Friday Funnies. Yes, here again, you could show a fashion tip, but I really think wine is the best answer by the time Friday rolls around. End of the week, usually they have something to do with having a half a glass of wine. Again, thank you to Jennifer Keller, because she somehow finds those
I'm
faster
about
than I
out,
can.
but there's a funny.
There you go. It's funny how 8 glasses of water a day seems impossible, but 8 glasses of wine can be done in one meal. Right? And then go back to your engagements and see. I'll tell you, Friday Funnies has a lot more engagement than me wearing a piece of jewelry on Wednesday. Is kind of funny. Oh, you're still looking. She's still.
I'm sorry, it's like a DOS computer from 2000.
DOS.
Well, you guys get the idea, right? You guys get the idea. So, our business gets back to, if you're doing this as a hobby, I'm almost done. It's going to cost you. If you're doing this as a business, you need to treat it like one and really work it so it makes you money. That's the whole purpose. I know we love jewelry, we love connecting with women, we love our Premier Sisters, but really, if you're not doing this to make money, you need to treat it like that. No? Okay, that's fine. So whether it's 5 minutes a day driving to or from work, or perhaps making a hostess coaching call with a team member, or even allocating 30 minutes creating invitations while you're watching Miami CSI, you need to make sure that you map out how you're going to get that next promotion that you might be eyeballing. And successful people plan their work, and then they work their plan.
Okay, sorry about the technical difficulties with Christina. There will be a break before she trains again. I will do my best to get her slides in order. But I want to talk about how to get some events on your calendar. And I know anybody could use some events on the calendar?
Yes.
Okay. And I wish I could just sprinkle some fairy dust around the room and say,
Sprinkle some Jennifer dust.
no, you know what, the thing is it's not, there's no magic. What it really is, and you probably don't want to hear this, but it's really just consistent effort over time to get your calendar full. And full is different for everybody. If you're doing Premier full time, like Connie, your full to you is 10 shows a month. If you're working this business or you're working full time and this is a side thing for you, your full might be 2 events a month. So make sure first you know what full looks like for you. So figure out what you want to do, how much money you want to make, and what you need to do to get there. Because I will tell you, there's lots of ways that you can sell this jewelry outside of a jewelry show, and Connie's going to talk about that in just a little bit. But if you want to make consistent income where you can rely on it and grow a business, you've got to hold events. You're just not making enough money with the onesie-twosie things. And the onesie-twosie things are great. That's like additional income. So I think everything Premier's offering, like with these daily deals, is great. But if you want a consistent income that you can rely on, you've got to hold events. So, I'll tell you my tried and true list. First, Connie mentioned a little bit about networking events and vendor events, and I know those can be hit or miss, right? We've all had great ones, we've all had not good ones. So, but I would encourage you not to give up on those, because whatever happens at one event is not indicative of all of them. They're all different, so you can't judge all of them by one that maybe didn't go as well. So, keep up with that, because that's your way to meet new people. And as I talk to girls and I do these coaching calls, it really comes down to that, is that you've got to meet new people, right? Because otherwise you're asking the same people to have shows all the time, and then they start screening your calls, and you just don't want to be that girl. So you've constantly got to be meeting new people. So That takes intention. You know, if you're out and about and you go to the bank every week and you see the same teller, it's having that conversation to get to know her, to start expanding your network. So when I am low on shows, this is where I start. First, I think the first thing you should do, well, let me back up even before what you should do. First, I think it starts in your mind of what you need to do, because, you know, January is always a rough start. You know, it's a harder month. We've just come off the Christmas break. You know, frankly, I've enjoyed kind of being home every night. Just kind of, I've been doing some puzzles or, you know, watching movies, things that I don't normally get to do when I'm working my job. And it's very easy and tempting to stay there. Like, you know, I'm just gonna be real. I have a show Tuesday and I'm like, do I want her to hold? Do I want her to cancel? Do I want her to hold? Do I want her to cancel? Tuesday's like right around the corner and I'm still in my vacation mode. But, you know, and that kind of, but that goes back to the deeper reason why you're doing Premiere. Like, what's gonna get you moving and going, and it's gotta be bigger than, you know, this is fun, or, you know, I'll do the best I can. You've gotta have a goal in mind. So that's what's gonna get me moving on Tuesday, because while I like to vacation, I also like to make money. And I like to do things with that money for my family. So that's gonna get me out of my vacation slump and get me going. Okay, so first thing I would do is I would do a personal show. I'm guessing most of us have not done one in a while, but when you do, to me, personal shows are kind of like the vendor events. They can be good or they can be bad, and I think it comes down to hostess coaching yourself, because I've done them both ways. You know, I've done the lazy personal show, come on over, and then I put the jewelry out, and then we just chat, and nothing really comes from it. So now if I'm going to be intentional and do a personal show, I invite them and I do a presentation. Because then I'm in my mode. It follows the just that business of, you know, I do a presentation and you shop, and then I ask you about having a show, and it goes from there. So if you're going to do a personal show, make sure you do the presentation part, and don't let yourself just be lulled into, we're just going to hang out and have a glass of wine and chat with each other. So the other thing I do is when I have a personal show, usually I try and do it with Kathy Yogi. She's in Mammoth this weekend. But what I like about doing it with Kathy is, one, she lives down the street, so our friends aren't driving, like, it's not weird for them to come to my house versus her house, it's all the same area. And what's our biggest fear with having a show is we think no one's gonna show up, right? So what Kathy and I do is we tell each other, okay, we're gonna invite people, and if no one shows up, we're just gonna hang out. So it's like, you know, there's no downside, because it's gonna be a fun night either way. But it kind of takes that pressure off of, this is gonna be worth my time, because we're gonna do this together. So if you have a sister jeweler or someone in your downline, it doesn't even have to be in your downline, but someone who's close, you know, consider doing it together. And I will tell you, and we haven't done a ton of them, we've done maybe 3, maybe 4, but every time we've done that, we've always had guests. But it's just kind of having that little out of, if no one comes, you know, sip and sparkle for us. But, so consider doing it with another jeweler. You also, you know, when we think about inviting people to something like this, we go to those same people we always go to. You go to your close friends, you go to your family, and they're just kind of your go-to people. You know, if you're going to have any kind of party, these are your list of people. But for this, you've got to go outside of that inner circle. You've got to go to your outer circle. And I know, like, I'll just tell you, nothing you're going to hear from me today is new. I mean, I know there's some of you, Joy Bergman, in the room that's like, oh my gosh, there she goes again. That same thing.
Say again.
Okay.
There she goes.
There she goes. So, but your outer circle are the people, I think, are the people that know your name, but you don't hang out with them necessarily. But, you know, they kind of know who you are. So I always think, like, my outer circle is, well, when I was younger, it was the kids and their sports. It was the moms I sat next to at the games every week that we just made small talk. So they know my name, but we didn't really hang out. So that was when my kids were younger. And it's harder when your kids get older. You don't have as many connections, right? And so then you've got to join some things that you're interested in to meet new people. So like my Bible study girls, and you know, you can't show up day one and pass out catalogs. But it's like you build a relationship with them so that 4 months into the Bible study, you can invite them to a personal show at your house. It's, you know, it might be your nail tech person. It might be your neighbors. I mean, my neighbor, we just make small talk all the time. I wouldn't say I've ever really gotten to know my neighbors well, but I could invite them to something because they know my name, it wouldn't be weird. So you really have to put some thought into who is in that outer circle and how to grow your outer circle.
No.
Oh, just waving at me, hi Connie. The other thing is you look through your Facebook friends. And, because I talk to girls all the time, they're like, I've asked everybody I know. Well, that's funny, because when I look on Facebook, it looks like you've got 700 Facebook friends. I'm thinking you might not have asked all 700 of those people. And I realize we don't know everyone, but when you start going through your Facebook friends, or even through your contacts, all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, her. And it brings people to mind, and you think, oh, I haven't talked to her in a while. Or, oh, I bet she likes jewelry. And so it just kind of gets your mind going. The other thing I did a mega show, I think it was a mega show at my house, and I was very strategic, and I went through my contacts, and I started with my zip code. Because I thought women don't want to drive far, they like jewelry, but they're not going to reschedule their life around coming to my house. So I started with basically my neighborhood, and I had a really good turnout because they were, it was only 5 minutes for them to get to my house. So maybe start with your zip code. The other thing is to rebrand it. Because, I think home show, do you want to have a home show? That sounds so boring, right? I don't want to have a home show. But you basically say, well, let's not have a home show. Let's do a little sip and sparkle night, which is a home show with a different name. So, but that sounds fun. Or, let's do like before Christmas, let's do a quick stop and shop. Or let's do a jewelry happy hour. Because that sounds fun and spontaneous and last minute. And I think right now with people, everyone's so busy and scheduling things, and it just seems like so much work. So you want to make this as quick and easy for them as you can. Just gather a few girls together. You want to start with a low commitment. Gather a few girls together, quick little jewelry happy hour. What do you think? Let's do it maybe 5 to 7. How does that sound? And once she commits to the small commitment of, yeah, I can grab 3 or 4 girlfriends, then you can grow it from there. But if you start with, let's do a jewelry show and invite everybody you know. Do you have all their addresses? Let's mail them invitations. That she's like, I'm out. That's too much work. So start with a little commitment. And then I think right now, if you don't have stuff on your calendar for January, and it is not too late to get stuff on the calendar for January. Excuse me. But I think at this point you do what you got to do. Right? So what I would do right now to fill January is I would contact some of my maybes, some of my past hostesses, somebody maybe I invited to my launch party that wasn't able to come, and I'd say, I'm really trying to kick my business off for 2020, and so I'm going to offer the first three ladies who book with me 50% off for a year. And I know you sit there and you think, gosh, that is so generous. And it is. But here's the deal. What are you giving that to? 3 people? Out of everybody you're going to meet this year to give them 50% off. And I'll tell you, they don't use it that often. So and you're not going to lose money. But if you do that and can get 3 shows on your calendar in January, and then we'll talk in a little bit about what to do with those shows. But if you can grow that to get more shows, that's so worth giving her 50% off for a year. Because I was thinking, how would I feel? So if someone approached me and said, I can't even think of a product right now that I love. I'm a new fan of Athleta, so I'm just saying Athleta did shows. And if you do a show with Athleta, you get 50% off our clothes for a year. I'd be like, I am in, and you want to approach the ones that like jewelry, because I'm thinking I like workout clothes. I'm in for that, and I'm thinking, yeah, I could get a couple girlfriends together because she said I only had to get a couple girlfriends. So you just start with that low commitment, 50% off for a year, and take it from there. If you've been in longer than 6 months, I'm going to tell you to go to your past hostesses. You've heard me talk about my Sparkle Club before. That is the backbone of my business. Because a lot of women don't necessarily want to have a show, but they like to come to a show. So I'll be at a show and I'll ask everybody if they want to have a show. Janet, do you want to have a show? No. Dawn, do you want to have a show? No. Jessica, do you want to have a show? No. And I see where we're going here because they're kind of contagious. So then when I get to like Connie, I'm like, and I ask her no, and I'll say, great, then I'll see you next year at Donna's house. I'll see you next year at Mary's house. And then at the end of the night, I'll go to my hostess Mary and I'll say, looks like we're doing this next year. Everybody wants to come back. And I get her in my Sparkle Club. And I'm super generous with my Sparkle Club. I give them 50% off for a year to my hostesses, but I need my hostesses. And because I do that, like I looked before I came, I have 32 shows on my calendar for 2020 from previous hostesses. And I want them to use that 50% because, I've done other things in the past, and if they don't take advantage of the discount, they're not as likely to keep their commitment. But you get a hostess that uses her 50% discount, she'll hold her show. So take care of your hostesses. My last one to reach out to shows or to get shows is fundraisers. Fundraisers are great because there's so many different ones. Like I'm thinking, this is how Janet is in the room today because I did a fundraiser for her daughter mission trip. She was going on a mission trip, and now she's a trooper in our room. See where they can grow to? And fundraisers are sometimes women who don't want to have a show will do a fundraiser because that's giving back. So, like real quickly, who's done a fundraiser in the last 6 months? Lori, who did you do it for?
For a gal in my networking group she's a cancer coach.
Cancer
so
coach.
it's her business.
Okay, a cancer one. Who did it? One that's not cancer? Tracy.
Diabetes, juvenile diabetes.
Juvenile diabetes. That's easy. Vicky.
Suicide widows
Suicide widows.
of military wives that are suicide widows.
Okay, that's awesome.
Wow.
Anybody else do one?
They love that survivor necklace.
See? Ooh, that's good too.
Yeah.
Just a quick note on the survivor necklace. My good friend Karen McMahon, I watched one of her shows, and when I look at the survivor necklace, I think someone like that or someone surviving cancer. And Karen got up there and she said, "We're all surviving something."
Yep.
She goes, "Teenagers, parents." I'm like, we can all wear that necklace. What would you do one for?
A children's reading program.
Children's reading program, and there was one more, Dawn.
St. David's Elementary School.
Elementary school. So do you hear all these? And what I love about that is, just because, Tracy did one for diabetes, you can't, Tracy did the diabetes one, I guess I can't do that one. Everybody can do the same ones that everybody else is doing. So as you do fundraisers, share them in our Facebook group so that we can all get ideas from that. So hopefully that just kind of gets your head moving a little bit towards filling your calendar. Because I think it's really going to be a great year. Do not ever buy into nobody wants to have home shows. That is the furthest thing from the truth. Because what I know about women is they like to get together. And we are the excuse for them to get together. So always look at yourself as you are offering value to them. And you don't want to be thinking, maybe in January, you're doing me a favor because you dig deep in January. But once you get your January set and you get shows from that, you are offering a service to them. You're not asking anybody to do you a favor. You're the one providing something for them. So it's going to be a great year. Thank you for that. And then next,
California. Flew in last night. But speaking of your phones and technology, I kept waiting for this girl to put an order in, and she said she was going to, and it didn't show me that she did. How you get an email, congratulations. And so I text her, hate to be your jewelry stalker lady, but you said you were going to. Are you still going to? It's okay if you're not. And she said, I did yesterday. And I'm like, oh, it didn't, so I had to go through and put it through before 10 o'clock, so I was also doing that while someone else was talking, because you have to get it, it was one of those specials.
Oh.
And so then I checked spam, it was in spam.
Oh, good.
I shouldn't have, now, note to self, check spam before you tell your person she didn't. I didn't tell her, shouldn't I? Just kind of gave her a little nudge. Anyway, geez, I felt bad. Anyway, starting from line 1, introduction, my name's Connie Sinfenderver. When Jennifer called and, actually text, because who calls, asked me if I would speak today, I actually asked her if she got me mixed up with Connie Allred. And then I kept looking at my phone, waiting for her to respond, and she said no, and I'm like, well, I'll pretend like I am Connie for, and then make sure my wrists are ready. Anyway, so on individual orders, and so, first of all, for individual orders, you'll need to post. You'll need to post that you're having a special. If you're having a special. If you're not doing something, you're probably not going to get those individual orders. But I also, like I think Christina said, I pre-post a night before or 2 nights before, and I have it go like at 6 in the morning because it's the first thing they see. And if it's any later, they're already on their walk, or they've started their day. And anyway, so it's and then I always tag, because if you don't, not everyone is that you want to see it. So you tag them, and it kind of looks like, so-and-so is with or someone, even though you're not, they're with. Anyway, let me start. First of all, you have to let your customers or future customers know you're having a special, so you'll need to pre-post. Either on your Facebook business page, your VIP page, your group page, whatever that might be, whatever you're using for Premier. Your specials would either be your own specials, whatever you might be having, buy one, get one half off. Your Premier specials, like they've been doing this last, what has it been, 10 days now? Or borrow someone else's specials, I'm sure they don't mind because we're all about women helping women, right? And, or perhaps a challenge sent down from your upline or someone. Post whatever challenge you're working on, like, says, see if you can get 2 orders in today. So I'm on it, because I'm competitive. So if you have a Premier group, I have a group. I'm not quite sure what the difference is as a business page or a VIP page, but I have a group. I think it's Connie's Premier Special, or Connie's Premier Design Club. Because I think it was maybe Jennifer or someone said that everyone wants to belong to a club. Did you say that? I'm sorry, that was her. Yours is That's what you call it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But,
We have different people.
okay, yeah, I haven't seen yours because I'm under Allred. I didn't know you had, because I'm not under you. Okay, that's funny.
You keep wearing those bracelets, it's all good.
That's right. So, so you have to, if you have a Premier group page, like I do, you should always be inviting people. And so you either invite your hostesses, past hostesses, customers, friends, church friends, or acquaintances, or go through Facebook, people that are kind of similar to you, or not similar. Anyway, because if not, it'll say however many is in your group, and it never changes. And sometimes you're like, but I invited 3 people yesterday. So, so never assume they've seen your invite. You might need to message them, or you might need to message or text them that you sent them an invite to join your group, and you'd love to have them accept. Because otherwise, like, they don't want to be in my group. And, but they just didn't see it. When you post your special, it will show who has seen it. So you can go back later, and it'll show so-and-so and so-and-so seen it, list all these people. If you don't get any responses, and you probably won't, if you just put a picture out there and, buy one, blah, blah, and then you wait, you're just waiting. Well, nobody's, it doesn't work for me. Well, you probably won't get any responses because women most women like the personal message. We don't want you to just post out there, we want you to call or text us. So I said here, don't want to miss anything. If you don't get any responses, and you probably won't because women respond more often to a personal message. So when you see who's seen it, you can go through and see who's seen it. You can text them. But you don't have to act like you know they've seen it. You say, send a text and ask her if she saw your post on your page about the 20% off on all earrings. That was one of the 20 and 20. Tell her there's a couple of them that scream her name, and send those pictures. A visual is always important. This also means you need to know your audience. Like you like bold earrings. If I sent a couple of dainty ones, you'd be going, those aren't screaming my name. They're not screaming anybody's name. Who to wear those? You can't see them. So a visual is important. This also means you need to know your audience. If you don't, you need to get to know them. Perhaps look at their profile description to see if they wear bold pieces or if they are more of a stay-at-home simple look. And you can go back to your receipts and see what she purchased from you. Don't show her the big, bold bling pieces if she only purchases the faith pieces. Get to know your customers. If I received an email that I would like this pink dress, wait a second. If I received an email that I would like this pink dress, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's nice, and go to the next email. If I received a picture of that pink dress, I'd be like, oh, yeah, maybe I would like that pink dress. So you always, we're all visual. If you don't have their cell numbers, you'll need to private message them. So if you see people that have seen your post, and you want, I want to see if she likes that, or ask her if she saw it, but you don't have their cell number, just go to their Facebook, because they're obviously a friend, or they wouldn't have been able to see it at all, and then private message them. Of course, sometimes they'll ignore you, and that's when you'll send another message giving them the finger, asking if they saw your text. I think we've learned this from Jen, who probably learned it from someone else. Women helping women. I text this, for example, I text this to one of the customers at 11 a.m. Because I think I saw her when she saw the safari special that was posted. Carmen, I don't know if you're interested in this beautiful special, but as a gym member, it's only $60. That safari necklace and 2 earrings for gym members was only $60. It was $75. And that's a crazy good special. And of course I sent the picture of the safari set, and then all the versatility, and then the earrings and how you can separate the earrings. She responded with, "When does the special end?" That led me to think she was interested. I told her it was a premier 24-hour special, so it needed to be in by 10 the next day, and I sent her pictures of all the versatility. I'm sorry, I can't talk. I need some water. Thank you.
You're doing good, Connie.
Okay, where was I? At 5, and this was before 10, I don't know what time it was. Anyway, at 5 that evening, when I didn't hear back, I texted her this: "Carmen, is this not your style, or did you not have the funds until the 1st? Because some people get paid on the 1st. If it's the funds thing, you can give me your credit card number, and I won't put it through till the 1st or 2nd, but I would put the order through so you don't lose out on the special. What are your thoughts?" And that was at 5. Not till the next morning at 9:05, the sale ends at 10, did she respond. And she said, "Money's not the issue. I've been thinking about the cheetah earrings only. The red ones are too big, and I don't really wear necklaces. But they will be my first 2020 Christmas shopping items. Here's my credit card. Please text after you put it through." And she's already buying for Christmas. I've heard about people like this. She said, "Okay, I'll take that. I like those earrings. The other 2 I will put away for Christmas." For Christmas. Yeah, I didn't really know there were really actually people that did that. And it was, I think that was still December. Anyway, so you can never expect a sale from only a posting. Almost never. This is the norm for getting orders. This is norm. Although with the first one, I had a friend, when I said this is the norm, I meant you have to, she saw it, she saw it, I texted her, she responded. Then later she didn't, I texted her again, and then she responded. So that's like the norm. You can't just, that's the norm. This is the norm for getting orders. Although with the first one, it was the first 2020 special, which I'm not sure, what is that, 20 specials in 20 days? Is that what it is? I had a friend message me that I hadn't seen in a while, asking if I could help her place an order for those wraps. And so I'm like, yeah. We didn't make much off those, because you bought the $24 wrap and you get $29 free. How do you pass that up? But the customers, so I think we didn't make much off those. Purchased $24 wrap and received the $29 wrap for free. But the customers sure appreciate a deal, don't we all? So sometimes it's not about what we make. And then there was the customer that texts me, and I didn't go after her either, so I'm saying there's always a couple exceptions. You're going to get these great, calls. And then there's a customer that texts me, I think that day, "Hi, Connie, I loved your family picture on Facebook. Hope your holiday was good having your kids around. I'm sure it was bittersweet. I'm excited about the daily deals. I just ordered Snappy." Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Some of you are going,
It's okay.
Anyway, "I just ordered Snappy." That's, okay, that's it. She said, "I just ordered Snappy. I love the daily deals." I said, that put a smile on my face. This happened because I built a relationship with her. So this was a girl that I only met once a year ago at a winery. And she was kind of like, "I have enough jewelry, but let me look." And then she bought $300 worth.
We love those. Was there wine involved?
Anyway, so she's been a good customer. I've never met her since. She lives in the Gilroy area, but she doesn't want to have a show, but she's purchasing often. And so the next day I text her and asked if she saw the wrap special, because she had bought the Snappy. The wrap was the next day. And she said, the wrap special, I told her that if she hadn't seen them in person, she'd love them as they look great on everyone. She said, nice, thinking about it, but I have some very similar. And my response, oh, I got it, I get it. Well, at the price, you might want to stock up. Just saying. From one, from one bling girl to another, I said. Then she responded, too good a deal to pass up, and I got the email that she had just ordered. So she got 2 bling bracelets for $29 plus tax. Of course, that's nice when that happens, but more often than not, it does not, and you have to work at it. On Thursday, I text the following to this girl I used to work with, Vicky, her name's Vicky. I said, Vicky, Premier Designs having a special today on this Tasseltown necklace, with the finger pointing up. It looks great on tall, beautiful women, so I thought of you. Still waiting for her response. And I haven't given her the finger yet. So I kind of went on, because I was working with other ladies, and so I haven't given her the finger yet. Anyway, on New Year's Day, I sent this text to a couple of friends from church. Sharon, would you be my first order for 2020? Have you seen my Premier post? Today, Premier is offering 20% off on all rings and earrings. Here's a few you might like, and my website showing all the rings and earrings available. I have not heard from her yet, and I have not given her the finger. But today, this morning, which I think was yesterday or 2 days ago, I'm not sure. Today, I sent out 8 texts with pictures of the special showing the versatility. Which show was, I'm not sure which special that was. Anyway, so 8 texts. 3 purchased, 2 said not this time, and 3 didn't respond. So I'm not sure what the percentage of that, but anyway, one of them before she ordered, I thanked her for being such a supporter of my business, and because you gotta throw those thank you outs out there because of course we're very thankful, and so for a total since the 2020. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 orders for 10 days, so that's not bad. Well, I don't know if it's awesome, but I didn't want a day to go by that I didn't at least have an order. Like I would sound like I was begging, hey, do you want to be my first order for 2020? I mean,
That's a great line.
Yeah, that's why I wrote that down.
That's great.
But yeah, you never really want to sound like you're begging. But anyway, but to I have not heard from. But to wrap it up, to me, it's all about getting personal and getting to know your customers.
Right, nice.
Yeah. Putting yourself out there, like I think everybody else has said. Knowing it's okay to feel a little uncomfortable. You'll get over it, and they don't even know you feel a little uncomfortable. Like now. And like real estate, where they say location, it's follow through, follow through, follow through. That's all.
You're good with
Well, I think if I had to recap the morning so far, and we're almost at halfway, I think what I'm hearing is kind of a theme that runs through, where you know your product, and you practice, and that gives you confidence. That you follow up. When I hear Connie talk, I mean, she's got a system. She's following up with people. She's giving them the finger. So it's basically, like I was saying, it's that consistent effort over time that's going to get you the results that you want. So I think that was great. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to talk about now that we kind of have an idea of how we're going to get some stuff on our calendar, right? We're going to do whatever it takes. We're going to offer them 50%. Free for a year if we need to. So now that you have some events on the calendar, what you do with those events is crucial. Because let's say, because I'd say the average person right now who wants to be in Premier wants to do between maybe 2 and 4 shows a month. Does that sound reasonable to most of us? That's kind of the goal. And if you're gonna do that, that's great. If you can consistently hold 2 shows a month, you're probably looking on average to make $400 to $500 a month. That is great money for your time. You wanna make a little more, you do a little bit more. But so when you book those shows, if you put forth all this effort when you get home to schedule those events, you have to make those shows the best performance of your life. Like, you need to leave those events thinking, I did everything I could here. And I always think about that because, I don't get bookings from every show. Sometimes my retail is good, sometimes it's not. But I try and leave every event thinking, I did everything I could here. Like, if no one showed up, it wasn't because I didn't host as coacher. If no one bought jewelry, it wasn't because I didn't show the versatility and talk about the product. And if no one booked, it wasn't because I didn't offer the opportunity to them. So, and if you can leave those shows thinking, I did everything I could here, then pat yourself on the back and move on to the next one. So when you're doing those events, let's talk about those. So it used to be, when I started, I'm actually, what's today, the 4th? On January 8th, I will start my 20th year with Premier. I told them that at the show thing. I told them that at the shows, and then I paused and I think you lost your opportunity to get Diva dollars, because if you had told me I don't look old enough to, sell this for 20 years, I would have paid you. You guys lost all your chance. I was gonna do another prize and now I'm done. But, things have changed so much, because in the beginning, you did your presentation from beginning to end, and I still really do the same presentation I did 20 years ago. But now it's a lot more fluid. You can do all kinds of things. So for example, if you're not feeling great about your presentation, because, you gotta be fun. And the way you become fun is you get to know the product and you practice. That's how you become fun at your shows. So if you're not feeling that you're quite as fun yet as you need to be, then don't do the presentation. Do an open house style. And I never used to say, I never would have said that in the past, but now I think that's great, because here's the deal with the open house. You can have people come from 5 to 7 or 6 to 8. You put your jewelry out. You do need to be personable at the tables and show them the versatility at the tables, and you still want a survey from them. But you basically can get away with not having said almost a word, and they're gonna leave going, that was so fun, because you want them to have a good time. So don't rule out the idea of just doing an open house style, if that's what your hostess wants and if that's what you're more confident at. But whether you do open house or you do a regular show, to me the checkout is the most important part of the entire show. Right, Tracy and Joy? They're smiling at me. Let's say it all together. And I keep training on this, and I don't even change it, because it is what works, and I just think this is what you've got to do. So, because you can have a great show, they can be having fun, they can be buying, but basically if you blow checkout, you blow any chance of getting future shows. So, this is my checkout procedure. All right, first, I got these these boards from Premier Incentives. You don't have to have the Premier Incentives, there's no magic here. Clipboards, whatever's fine. But I have in here an order form, and behind here I have my survey. And I'm always changing my survey. This is version 22, I'm on 22. But I can't remember what I changed. But I stick, and some of this stuff is so small, but I really think it all matters. So I stick the survey behind the order form. Because what was happening is people, when I had the survey on top, people would come in, they'd sit down, they got nothing to do yet, so they're like, no. I haven't even said anything yet, and they've already decided they're not gonna have a show. And that kind of hurts my feelings, so I hide it so they don't see it. So, parts of the show, you wanna show the versatility of the jewelry, you wanna talk about the hostess benefits, you wanna talk about the sponsoring, all those components need to be in there. And, what I'm hoping to do in the next week maybe is to record just 3 quick videos on like your introduction, your booking activity, and your sponsoring activity, and then maybe one on closing it, just to share if you want ideas for that. But what I do is I tell them at the very end, I'll say, last thing ladies, if you could pull this survey out from behind your order form and fill it out completely for me, I will buy it from you for Diva dollars. And that's one of these little things I did in my business that has had a huge impact. Because I don't know about you, but I was getting surveys back where they just have their name at the top. Not helpful. Doesn't really tell me anything. So I say, I'm gonna buy it from you for Diva dollars, make sure you fill it out completely. And I just wait for them. You know, at that point, I've taken my jewelry off, so I'm kind of putting my jewelry back on while they fill them out. And, you know, and women, I mean, I'm not gonna make someone do it, but women crack me up. So some are very obedient. They're writing their surveys down. Some of them are just kind of. I say, oh, Tracy, I see you're still working on it. So, and that gets some of them, because then they're like, well, everybody else is filling out the survey, maybe I should fill out the survey.
exactly.
Yes, you should fill out the survey. So that gets some of them, and really, if she's not gonna do it, she's not gonna do it. But usually I get most of them back, filled out. And then once you get them back, you've gotta look at them. I can't tell you how many jewelers have told me, yeah, when I get home, I look at those surveys. No, you gotta look at them right away. So my survey, which I'll share this again, version 22, it says, and it's gotta be, I try and keep it as short as I can, because they don't wanna take a lot of time. So the first one is my Sparkle text alert. If you'd like to be part of my weekly to get text from me, they can opt in or out. Beneath it, it says, check if you'd like to follow me on Instagram. Trying to up my Instagram game, still a work in process. And number 2, interested in some girl time with your friends and spoiling yourself with some free jewelry. Yes, maybe later, or no. And I like that because I used to have the scale, you know, like 1 to 10, what's your interest level? And then again, the ones hurt my feelings, so I'm like, I'm gonna do that. So, and then it says fundraiser to benefit. Below it says, interested in the biz, start for just $45 a month, make 50% profit with no quotas. And the last one is about the gym membership. So right now I'm just gonna talk about the booking one. So I get the surveys back, and what I find is, you know, you're gonna get yes, maybe later, or no on your surveys, right? So let's talk about the yeses. The yeses, I'm gonna be honest, rarely happen. You know, if someone marks yes, I'm like, you're doing like that happy dance in your head, you're trying to appear very cool on the outside, but so, but if someone comes up, let's say Norma comes up and she's got yes on her survey. What I am not going to do is ask Norma if she wants to have a show. Norma has said yes. So I'm gonna go right for the date. And I'm gonna say, Norma, I see we're gonna get some girls together, that's gonna be great. What's better for you, a weeknight or a weekend? So you see again, it's not, I'm wide open. When do you wanna do it? Because now you're stressing Norma out. She doesn't have a calendar. She's gonna be like, let me check with all my friends, and I'll get back to you. And so you want to give her a choice within your control. What's better, I always think, what's better, Tuesday or Thursday? What's better, a weeknight or a weekend? Oh gosh, I don't know, maybe, you know, a Tuesday. Great. You look at your calendar, and I do, you know, my calendar is all color-coded like Christina's, and I have highlighted, and I'm all, you know, synced up with all the phones and the computers and all that, but I like a printed calendar at my shows. And I highlight the days that I want to do shows in pink. So when someone's interested in having a show, I'm gonna go to my pink highlighted dates, and I'm gonna offer her the very first one. Because if Norma says, well, Tuesday sounds good, great, I have the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th, which one is good? She's gonna say the 28th, right? And we wanna book in order. So I'm gonna look at Norma on January 4th, and I'm gonna say, I have the 7th open, how does that look? And I know everyone's like, the 7th, but that's only 3 days away. But you know, Norma may know her neighbors. She might be that spontaneous, fun girl that's like, yeah, let's just do it on Tuesday. So you offer your first date. And if she can't, likely she will not take that if it's really 3 days away. But then if she's like, oh no, well then great, let's do it the 14th. Now you've kind of let her say no, you've given her the next opportunity. And you go from there. So that's if she's a yes. You're going right, like you should not leave without a date on your calendar if she actually says yes on that form. So if she says no, and what I do, again, this is a little thing but it keeps me organized, is I didn't bring it, but I have this little clipboard. So kind of like this, I have this clipboard, it's a small one, like the size of this, and I clip all my orders to it. So at the end of the night, it's all in the clipboard. I drop the clipboard in my purse. I've got everybody's orders, monies, surveys all in one place. So when I get these little surveys, I stick them under, and my calendar's on here too. So I just kind of stick them on here sideways, like this. So when she comes up, you know, Mary comes up, so I flip through, I find Mary's survey, and I have it right in front of me next to her order form. So let's say Mary comes up, and she's got no on her survey. For the record, Mary did not have no on her survey when I met her. Mary was a maybe, which we'll talk about in a second. So, but Mary comes up, she's got no on her survey. Then I'm gonna find Mary's survey, and I'm gonna take that survey, and I'm just gonna stick it right here behind my clipboard, like as if it never existed and I've never seen it before in my life. Because let me tell you what women do with these surveys. They think, their immediate thought is, I'm too busy. I can't do this, no. And they may change their mind during the presentation or when they're shopping because they want more than they can afford. And now she's a little more open to it, but she does not change the survey. So never trust a no on the survey. Don't look at them and go, oh, no one's interested. Absolutely not. You have to ask every single person about having a show. So if Mary comes up and she's got no, I'm gonna say, Mary, did you think you might want to get some girls together? And you have to practice this, the head nodding with the talking at the same time. Just think you might want to get some girls together. And then you wait and see what she says. Because if Mary says, oh, no, thank you, I'm good. Thanks so much for coming, enjoy your jewelry. I do not ever pressure a real no. But a lot of times, women cannot say no without giving you a reason. And then that gives you something to work with. So Mary might say, oh no, I'm so busy, right? Is that the one we have? And then I'll say, well, tell me what's going on. Well, John's got baseball and Sarah's in dance and all these things. And I'll say something like, it sounds like you need a girls' night out. I know January sounds crazy. What do you think about doing something in February? And then she's thinking. And if I can say the words, do you want to just see what I have available? If I can get to that sentence out, then there's probably a 90% chance she will pencil the date in. And because in her mind, she's like, well, see what you have available. It might not be anything I have available, and I'm sure I'm still a no. But if I can open that up, I'm like, what's better for you, a weeknight or a weekend? What's better for you, a Tuesday or a Thursday? And if she says Tuesday, how about January 7th? So it's kind of the same script. You just start different ways based on what they're saying. Or she might say, what's another one you get? What's an objection?
House is too small.
House is too small. My house is too small. Well, literally I say, do you have a table? And she'll say, most of the time they say yes. That's all we need. Jewelry's and trays. You can stack them. I tell people this. One time I set up on a dog crate because she didn't have a table, and I think there was a dog inside. I set it up. So I'm like, I can do anything. I've got trays. So never, and it's usually when they say that, it's because they're at a house much bigger than the one that they have. So don't even worry about that, Or what's another one?
I don't know anybody.
I don't know anybody.
Everybody I know is here. I have no friends, Jen.
No one will come.
Do not wear jewelry.
I do struggle with the I have no friends, but I'm like, really? What? But if she says that I don't know anybody and, all my friends are here, da-da-da, that I will say, well, we're just the excuse. I'm just the excuse for women to get together. And I know these ladies aren't able to get everything they want tonight, so they'll be thrilled to come back in February, especially because we have new jewelry coming out. And then I will rope in the hostess. Mary, if Christina had a show, would you come? Absolutely. So you have a guest. Because that's why she doesn't book, because she thinks no one's going to come. So you get the hostess to say she's coming, all of a sudden Christina feels better. Well, at least I have one guest, and if Mary brings her friend Gail, then that's two people. And then she thinks, and I know Joy wasn't able to come tonight, so she might come, and I do work with that girl. So you've just got to get her, again, it's the baby commitment, it's the baby step to just help her. Because I will tell you, in all the, and I think I've literally done like 1,500 shows. In all those shows, I've never had one person say, I really wish I hadn't done this.
Yeah.
They're always happy they did it. They just have to know that you are a partner with them to get them to have a fun night. Okay, so that's the no's. My favorites are the maybe laters. Because, we're very non-committal around here. Nobody wants to say yes, but they're like maybe. So most of the people that actually book on my calendar come from maybes. So let's say Gail comes up and she's got maybe later checked on her form. And I just take it as a personal challenge. Gail, you and me, we're having a show. Watch the magic, here we come. Okay. So I will say to Gail, because I remember, Norma was my yes. Norma, I see you want to get some girls together. Let's get a date on the calendar. What's better, Tuesday or Thursday, right? Gail's my maybe, so I'm gonna acknowledge that. And I'm gonna say, Gail, I see you're thinking about getting some girls together, right? Because that's what she's doing, she's a maybe later. I see you're thinking about getting some girls together. What's better for you, a weeknight or a weekend? And it is the same exact thing as if she were a yes. Because I think she's really trying to say, I'm interested, talk me into it. You know, make me see the value of this, and do I really wanna go all the way from a maybe to a yes? And sometimes the maybe laters is because she's got something going on right now. And she thinks, well, I can't do it on Tuesday. You know, I've got all this stuff. So, you know, it's the, you know, I wanna get her in January, but if she can't do January, you know, I'll say, Gail, I see you're thinking, she's like, Tuesday's good. How about Tuesday, you know, January 14th? Oh, you know, we're going out of town, we're going on vacation. No problem, let's look at February. And you wanna pencil her in. Because it is so much easier to confirm somebody than it is to book somebody. Because when they walk out the door, they're now back into their real life, and they are busy. So if you don't get them penciled in on the calendar, it's going to take more time, it's going to take more of an incentive. Not that you can't do it, because you certainly can do it, but you want to get them on the calendar at your show. Any questions so far? Anything? Okay, is this sounding good and familiar?
Good.
No.
It's new every morning.
New every morning. Okay, let's say, and I ask oh yes, Ms. Brown.
So, since you always are trying to get a yes at a show, do you have your packets right then and there, or do you schedule hostess coaching at another time?
I do bring packets with me. Like Christina, I want to hostess coach them in person
Right.
because I think there's more of a commitment.
Right.
If you actually show up at our house, even if it's for 5 minutes, there's more of a commitment there. But if she books a show and she's far enough away where realistically I'm not going to hostess coach her in person, then I will save the $7 in shipping and hand her a packet. But even, and this is probably a whole different training, but I always stay in touch with my hostesses. You know, 4 weeks out, we're in touch every single week until she has her show. But yeah, that's kind of depends on if she's close or not. But I do like to hostess coach in person, but you know, a lot of us can't do that. So if you can't, then you might want to give her the packet. Okay, so you're asking everybody, right? That's what you're getting out of this for sure, is you're gonna ask everybody if they wanna get some girls together. And it's not do you wanna have a home show? Hey, do you wanna have a sip and sparkle? You know, do you know somebody with a fundraiser? That's why I have this on the survey, fundraiser. So they can put a name down. Let's do a fundraiser for, you know, whatever organization. But some people, you know, they have maybe later on, and you ask them, and they just cannot schedule a show. You know, it's the person who's remodeling, it's the person who's in transition for whatever. And so if I can't pencil a date in, then I will say, how about if I put you on a maybe list and check back? Nobody minds being on a maybe list. Everybody's happy to be on a maybe list. But if you ask that, you have to go one step further and say, when is a good time to check back with you? Because everybody's maybe is different, right? In my mind, maybe is like a month. But I've had people say, well, check with me on Monday. I'm like, Monday, okay. You know, Monday's great. Monday, we haven't even closed the show. You know, but she just needs to check some things, check with me on Monday. And so I keep that Rory book, I forgot to bring a little example, but where I keep all my surveys in a little notebook. And what I do when I get home is I write on the back, met Norma at Kathy's show, talked about her dog all night, wore pink, you know, big hair. You know, something. So that later I can remember who she is. Because it's really hard to check back with a maybe when you have no context of where you met her. So any details you can write. And the thing is, there's something about when I put these surveys in a folder and I try and look through them at least weekly, seeing their writing also makes me remember who they are. So, you know, if you don't have a Rory book, make sure you get a Rory book. And when I call them, so now she's a maybe, you know, because right now that's where we're at, right? We're checking back with people today or tomorrow. Take the rest of the afternoon off. But bottom line is we are checking back on those people that said maybe later. So what I would do, whenever I check back with someone about having a show, I always offer an incentive. Because their excitement has gone down. You know, now they're busy, they're not sure they have time. So, and the incentive depends on what I need, right? If I'm trying to book right now for March, which I wouldn't be, but I would be like, yeah, I don't need to offer an incentive, it's March. But if I'm trying to book for the end of January, so they can get 50% hostess benefits, and I can get my business going for 2020. It's, hey, I've got 3 girls, I'm gonna offer 50% off for a year too. So you can get, and I'll put verbiage this afternoon in our Facebook group on this, but you can get 50% free jewelry at your show, and then a 50% discount for a year. That covers your Christmas gifts, that covers your Mother's Day, your spring look or whatever to the first 3 girls. Does the 27th or the 29th work? And I would just bottom heavy your last week of January. And, if your goal is to hold 2 to 4 shows a month, and you don't have anything on your calendar for January, I would suggest maybe stressing yourself out a little bit to get 4 the last week of January. So that in February, you can put them where you want them. Does that make sense? Okay. So check back with them. Let's see. And I think that might be it on my thing. Any last questions before we wrap up? Yeah.
Do you ever then steer them towards booking a fundraiser show? What is your verbiage for that if they're gonna wanna do a party?
Well, so at the end of the presentation part, I'll say, pull out the survey, and I walk them through. So I read everything on this survey to them, because I haven't talked about fundraisers yet. So I'll say, if you want to, this other thing is, when I'm talking through, I'll say, the second question is if you're interested in some girl time, spoiling yourself with some free jewelry, just want to let you know I have 2 dates left in January, and I have 2 dates left in February. I always have 2 dates left. I really have 12 dates left. Because there's so much like psychological stuff with this business. Because if you're up there and you say, yeah, I'm wide open in January, I got nothing. People sit there and they think, why does she have nothing? So you always have 2 dates because it just creates that urgency.
Jen, are you sure you weren't a psych major?
No, I was not a psych major, but I have learned a lot of psychology over the years and just how women think. Yeah.
So that's something I've never done, is to walk through them with that survey and go question by question, something like that. How have you,
Who trained you?
I think you're doing fine, Connie.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like, I would be thinking, I've already been talking so much, I've already presented your, I want to let them go shop as soon as possible. And so my thinking is, I don't, because I know that would take more time to do that. So what is your thought process of that, and what did you do when the person like, does that?
Well, one of the reasons I talk through it is because I want them filling it out while I'm talking. Otherwise, they're too quick to get up and go. So I think walking them through it, and I always say it's just 4 quick questions. Let me tell you what they are, and I go through really briefly.
Is there one sentence you say to start that?
I just
She's
say.
gonna buy a $1,000 right?
Yeah, and one last thing, ladies, pull that survey out from behind your order form. If you could start filling that out. I just have 4 quick questions. I will buy it from you for Diva dollars. Let me just tell you what it says. And I just,
What it says. Okay, that's
you know,
what I'm looking for. that
yeah,
word.
just I'll tell you what it says and then go all the way down. But, if I have a show where they don't fill out a survey, I'm lost at checkout. I'm still gonna ask everybody, but just something about knowing what they're thinking helps me at checkout. Even if she's a no, I at least think, okay, she thinks she's a no. I'm gonna start there. Yeah, Connie.
So what do you do with your Diva dollars? What do you give with those?
Oh, I give a polishing cloth. I know, Tracy always walked in, she's not even here. I always give a polishing cloth from incentives, I think they're $1-ish, $1.50 maybe. And what I like about it is, it goes along with what we do, it's inexpensive, and everyone likes a polishing cloth.
To just one has
One
the most?
person, one who has the most. And if I get a tie, I say, oh, now we do the birthday game, whoever's birthday is closest to today, when's your birthday? And I just give it to that person. So, Joy.
Good question. For your January shows, Jen, are you gonna bring the catalog that we still have as well as the holiday catalog?
I am, because that's all we got right now. So a new catalog's coming out January 31st.
And they don't know, so you just, like you said, make the most of your shows, and on all our January parties, you bring that catalog.
Yeah, and I always say, you want to have a show in January, we have new jewelry. In my mind, I'm always saying we have new jewelry, because I might have gotten one new piece that I didn't have at the last show.
Right.
Right? Or, and they don't remember what they see.
Yeah.
So, Christina?
I just wanted to add something to what you said about trying to date sooner. I think as jewelers, because like I said, I look 3 weeks out, I'm trying to plan, but sometimes having a show 1 week away, if you think about the philosophy is if I want Are you? It's not that it's last minute, but people know what they're doing in 3 or 4 days. So there's no reason why you can't say, next Saturday, I'm getting some girlfriends together, because you can throw together a Facebook event and get a text out.
Yeah.
And I've had some of the biggest shows that only happened 1 week out, not 4 months out, because people forget and they make plans and they've been, there's just so much going on. So I almost encourage the shorter the time frame, people can respond, and that's a quick text, and she can get 5 women in a room, and you've got a show next Saturday. So,
And it's spontaneous and it's fun, and if she knows her neighbors, you're set.
Yeah.
Because neighbors just come on over, so that's all great stuff. Okay, we are gonna take a break. A couple things as we go into our break. First, Tracy was very kind to bring some of her jewelry today. Also on there is the new charms, if you haven't seen the new charms that came out at the beginning of January, so check that out. Judy's in the back, she has tickets for 50/50. If you are interested in doing that, we'll draw at the end of the morning. And then we are gonna meet back here with more drawings at 11:10. So you have 15 minutes, and at 11:10, we're going to do one big group picture up here too, before we're done. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, but
What's the schedule for the rest of the day? I didn't catch that from the beginning. Sorry.
the schedule for the rest of the day, we go until about 12:45.
Okay, thank you.